everyone, Bethany here and welcome to my channel. Today I am excited to be joining the Not Too Shabby Shop for the Box of the Month Hop, and it is so much fun. I am so ready for fall. Yes, I love summer. I'm a summer gal personally, but fall is my jam lately, especially with kids who are so excited to go to school and all the things that fall brings. So I'm going to dive in right here to the newest box of the month. I am in love, love with everything that is in this box. Like, all of this is me, really, seriously, and things I love to design with and play with. So I'm going to just jump on in. I have to narrow down for myself a theme, which I think we're going to go with my favorite theme, which is coffee, all things coffee. This one also has reading is my therapy. I love reading. I'm in a book club and it is so much fun. So we are going to go ahead and dive on in with my favorite picks so far. And if you've caught any of my videos before, I don't generally have a game plan. I just pick my favorite things and I just start playing. That's how I create. It's not for everyone. Some people like to pick exactly what they're looking for and then go from there, but me, I'm not a planner at all. But I am already loving this pale pink with the blossoms or the little bunches of flowers. So I'm going to pull that out. I'm also going to pull out this one, which is my favorite. And that's what I like to do. Sometimes I just start pulling out my favorites and then I'll pair what I really like together and see what magic can be created by doing it that way. So I've picked 3 to start, and actually I'm going to pick a 4th because I really like both of these on both sides. So I'm going to pick those to begin with, and then I'm going to go ahead and just start pulling out some of the ephemera. So then I can see which ephemera really works with what I've picked. I love the books on this, but I feel like any of these backgrounds I've picked, it'll blend in too much. So we're not going to go with that. I love the coffee. That one will stand out for sure. And loving the flowers coming out of the coffee cup. And I love books and coffee. I mean, absolutely yes. So I think I'm going to start off with those together. And then what I'm going to do is a little bit wild and crazy, but the idea just came to mind. We're going to jump right in and see if the idea in my head is as cute as it could be in paper. So I'm going to cut this down to an A2 size card front and be right back. Now that I have that cut down, I am taking one of these stamps, which is the little open book stamp, and we are going to create a little bit of a mixed media look. I am going to just put black ink and start stamping. If my impression isn't 100% clear, it's okay. And some a little bit off of the page. And there we go. So now that I have that little bit of the books, now I'm just going to add some of the coffee beans. There's a little tiny coffee bean stamp. And I'm trying to be super intentional, but I know there's going to be overlap, and that's kind of the point. Just remembering to try to at least turn my block a little bit, and that's why I actually picked a circular block so it would be easier to turn. I will let 1 or 2 of these go off the page. Notice I'm calling my card front a page now. And that right there, perfect. And then there's a single coffee bean, and I'll just add that one a few times. And I don't feel like I need too many of these, so I think that will be it for that one. So after letting this dry for a little bit, I was studying it and realized I want something to break up that pattern just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I cut down the back side, which is a pale pink of this piece of paper that I pulled from the pad. And I'm going to take the sentiment from the books and coffee stamp set. It says, drink coffee, read books, be happy. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that sentiment down roughly right about almost to the edge, but not quite. Just using a standard black ink. Perfect. And then I pulled this little cutesy wootsy lady who is reading a book with the flowers in it. I thought that tied in because we have the flowers, we have the books. So I'm going to go ahead and start assembling. I have here my Neenah white 110-pound cardstock, and I am just going to use some Barely Art glue and gluing my background first, which should give my ink enough time to finish drying on my sentiment. So one thing when you are stamping directly on printed cardstock, occasionally you'll end up smearing. So you want to make sure that that ink is as dry as you can get it before you start placing things down and handling it. Now I want it to be completely down and flat, and I cut it so that there was a little bit of a border on each side. I didn't want to go edge to edge with this. Then I'm just going to grab a piece of foam tape and stick it to the back of the reading lady, and she'll be a little bit above and over. And it's simple, it's fast, it's easy, and it's a mixed media feel. I really like it. So I'm going to continue to create and see what else I can come up with. For this next card, I am actually grabbing my Neenah card base right off the bat because I cut this down to 5.5 by 3.25 so that I could have this nice white band on the side. And basically that's what I'm going to use to break up a little bit of the visual busyness of this pattern. So I am going to go ahead and glue it down right away before I change my mind, because I have a tendency to do that if I don't commit right away, and then I go back and forth for forever on how I want to complete a card. This way, even if I don't like it, I can turn it into something else. So I have it where there's a little bit of edge that'll help create a little balance, and it kind of looks like one of those little book cover edges, so it just really fits into what I was aiming for. Originally I wanted the flowers, but I really like that there is this coffee cup that kind of mirrors what is happening in the busyness of that. I'm going to add the little coffee, and I'm still going to add this adorable heart, which is the I love coffee and books. I think that just visually all works together. It's perfect, and I don't want to change a thing about it. The only thing I might add is maybe a fourth item or a fifth item. I really, really do like these books here. There we go. So I'm basically going to take 5 pieces of ephemera, and I'm going to play with dimension by popping some up on that foam tape, and others I will just glue. So I know for sure I want this I love books and coffee to be at the top because that's basically going to be the sentiment. This will definitely end up as a thinking of you card, but I want to give that one full space to breathe. I'm going to let those floral covered books go behind, and then I'll put the coffee out on top. So what I'm going to do is I'll foam tape the coffee first, just so I can visually space it out, and then I will glue the book set down right there so it's tucked behind. It's subtle. If you're looking for it, you'll find it. If you're not looking for it, it's okay. I think it's cute. And then I'll do the same concept with the coffee cup. We'll just basically do when every other item is off the paper, just a hair, and the other one's glued. And that is so cute, so fast, so easy. That took me probably not even 5 minutes to create. It's absolutely stinking adorable. Continuing on, let's go find something else to play with. For this next card, I decided to follow along the same lines of mixing patterns and decided to grab the last 2 patterns I had pulled, the pale blue with the white flowers and then the teal with the bigger flowers. And basically what I did was I cut them down to 1.75 inches by 5 inches, and then this one I cut down to 2.5 by 5 inches. So basically they're going to be leaving a little bit of an edge on the top and the bottom, so a little bit different than the last one where the edge was here. And then I'm going to go ahead and commit by gluing it all down. I already have my card base out, And I'm going to glue the smaller panel first because that one's the easiest one to maneuver, less space to have to tack down. I'm going to bring it right up to my spine of the card. See, I'm going to use all the book terminology I can throw at this video today. And then once I'm satisfied with the placement of that, then I'm going to use that as my alignment for the next one. I love this teal, by the way. It's so cute. Just had to mention it while I'm looking at it and gluing the back of it. And now what I'm going to do is any overlap to be had, I can fix here. Sometimes that does happen because my card bases aren't always measured up with the same cutting measurements. So look at how cute that is though. And I'm just double checking. Everything's nice and flat. Next, I'm going to pick my ephemera. I really love the fox with the flowers, so I'm thinking I'm going to go with that. And I like this lady with the books, like they just go together. So I think I'm just going to keep it simple like that and then throw in a little bigger flower that matches, kind of ties in with all of the flowers already here. Actually, where do I want that? No, I like the bigger one because then that one can cross over the two ideas. So I have grabbed the Reading is My Therapy stamp, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp it down. My cutter is not super great, so there's a little distressing on the side, and I'm keeping it in. I like that feel of not everything is crisp, clean, and perfect, which is not necessarily everyone's jam. That's okay. That's how I'd roll. And I'm going to stamp it away from my card in case I make a mess. Nice pressure on it, and it's perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and figure out where I want to place everything before I start adhering everything down. Now I'm liking the placement a little bit better. So I know for sure I want the Reading is My Therapy to be flat, and that one I'm going to try to center as best as possible. All the ephemera I'm going to foam tape right on there. I like the placement I played with, so I'm going to speed through this so you don't have to watch me tediously take all of the foam tape off their backing. And there you have the third card. So what did you think? Did you like this? Do you love the theme as much as I do? I think the designers really just knocked this one out of the park. This is probably one of my favorite boxes I've gotten. Second to the Alice in Wonderland box, but look at how cute these came out. I mean, I really, really, really love these. They are just fun and fast and easy. And I hope you learned a little bit something about just playing and letting the materials talk to you and tell you how you want to end up. Do you need to break it down with just a little bit of color, or do you need to use some exposed background from your card base? It's totally up to you to just play with everything and figure out what designs work best for you. I hope you enjoy the hop. Don't forget to check the link down below to join the Rafflecopter giveaway. It's going to be amazing, of course. And check out all of the videos. You can either use the hashtag or you can use the links down below for your convenience. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Don't forget to find the joy in your day and happy making. Bye!